cases, you learn the secrets of the universe itself. We want to say thanks to all of our loyal listeners who tune in each week, and those who may be tuning in later, who may be not so loyal but will tune in on our different segments. We also give thanks to them as well. And we want to also give thanks to our sponsors who make this all happen and available for all of us. We have Planet Beach out there on 59th Avenue and Berend, one of the most amazing places to get unlimited spa treatments for a very small nominal monthly fee. It's a great place to go. Take your family, take yourself, take your loved ones. Great place to go. Further south, about 3 or 4 miles, we on 59th Avenue in Glendale, we have Glendale Flowers, and make sure that you obey the laws of the universe and give a random acts of flowers as often as you can before Mother's Day, by the way, and then do Mother's Day as well, because you want to do both, but make sure that she'll feel that you love her so much more if you give her flowers before Mother's Day and then on Mother's Day as well. We also have Crescendo, which is a $50 million company that we very much appreciate. Sorry to throw the numerical number around, but we really do appreciate them as an advertiser on our show. They have wonderful phone systems that normally end up reducing your cost by about 30%. And not in every case. Sometimes they save 90%. Sometimes they don't save. So it just depends on the situation that you're in. But a wonderful, wonderful company. They also do search engine optimization and web design. So they're a great social media complement. So we talk about web advertising on our show. We talk about social media on our show. And we're going to be talking about the new emerging platform. For those of you who are not familiar with it, we're going to be talking later on the show about Trusted Team and how I was able to receive $400,000 in referrals from my Trusted Team yesterday. So thanks to my Trusted Team members. Danny, if you're listening, we really appreciate the majority of the referrals this week came from Danny, but last week's $400,000, we want to break that $400,000 quota. We love the $400,000 quota, though. For the last 2 weeks, we've had $400,000 of referrals coming in off of our referral network. So we really, really appreciate everything coming in off a Trusted Team. And if those sounds like huge numbers and you want to be part of that, stay tuned with the show, and we will talk about how you can build your own Trusted Team and how they will evolve even larger and larger for you over time. We're only about 60 days into this, and it's been phenomenal, and I fully predict that we'll probably end up getting in the millions of dollars rather than just the hundreds of thousands of dollars. So stay tuned. In the meantime, we're going to talk about something a little bit more grassroots, and we are joined today by Michael Yamamoto, who I've known for several years in the mortgage and real estate industry. We brought on Dale Hillard the other day, who's the designated broker for West USA, and a new program that is being rolled out, I should say a new franchise that's being rolled out in all of the Walmarts across the country called House Brokers. So you can look forward to that. Those aspects, we should be bringing him on the show within the next few weeks. So we look forward to that. But today we're going to talk a little bit about mortgage and the Real Estate Mortgage Network here with Mike, or sometimes people call him Michael. So welcome to the show, Michael.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're very welcome. So tell us a little bit about the Real Estate Mortgage Network and how you came to be part of the organization, and obviously you've made those decisions for a reason, and I'll let you kind of take both angles of why somebody should work as a loan officer for the Real Estate Mortgage Network, as well as why clients who are thinking, this is very low rates right now. In fact, you have some very special financing, especially if somebody wants to improve a home. Am I correct?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Well, Real Estate Mortgage Network, or Remen.com as they are on the web, is they're like the 16th largest mortgage banker in the country. So they're pretty big. We're selling direct to Fannie Mae, which is one of the three large composites that purchase loans in the United States, along with Ginnie Mae and Freddie Mac.
So are you a wholesale division, or is there a wholesale and a retail division of your company?
Yeah, there's a wholesale and a retail division of the company, and so we're pretty large in that regard. Most companies that aren't that size, kind of struggle with some different things that we don't have challenges on. It's a little easier to do loans when you're this size because we service them. Mm-hmm. So instead of selling a loan all the time like a lot of companies do, we actually will service that loan and keep it in our portfolio. So, we can be a little more in tune with what we're lending on in the first place.
Absolutely.
So.
Also, if you wanted to call and get a hold of Mike, all you young women out there, I have no idea if he's available, but he is a good-looking soul. You'll see him on YouTube, so make sure you go check him out on YouTube. But a phone number where you can actually go and ask for the one and the only Michael Yamamoto as well is 855-684-5363. Or you can go, as he says, to www.remn.com or remn.com.
Yes, sir.
Now, if they want to find out your location, they get on that website, is there a way for them to find out what location you're at and come and visit?
Yeah, absolutely. We're actually at 1166 East Warner, which is in Gilbert, in between Lindsay and Val Vista off of Warner.
Okay, very good. Very nice area if anybody hasn't been down there.
Right, exactly.
You bet. Okay, well, wonderful. So that's all the contact information. So that and we'll probably repeat that later on once you get even more interested. Tell us about that. How I guess some of the investors and homeowners that are looking to buy a new home, they may, if they have good imagination. I mean, I don't know about everybody else who is listening to the show, but my wife and I had a really good eye to be able to look at kind of the We Buy Ugly Houses concept and say that has a good framework. It's kind of like whoever looked at Michael Jordan and said that guy has good framework, he's got good style. I think he should walk onto my court, right? So the guy didn't even make the basketball team in high school. So that we kind of are able to see that talent that a home has. And if you feel like you kind of have that talent that you say, hey, if I fix that home up, I know for a fact it would appraise for a certain amount. There's a great loan that Michael has for you. Do you want to tell us some of the details about that?
Yeah, we're really excited about it. We, to my knowledge, are the only company out there that's carrying this right now. And the reason is because we are, Remn is the third largest carrier of 203K loans, okay, which is the FHA renovation loan. And so we're pretty big at it. We're very good at it. And a lot of times borrowers and real estate agents, loan officers, they kind of shy away from renovation loans because typically the loan officer doesn't do a lot of them, so they don't really know what they're doing. You know, the processors don't really know what they're doing because they don't do a lot of them, and the companies don't do a lot of them. So we actually have an entire renovation department that's dedicated to that. So the FHA 203K is one mechanism of rehab loans, which most companies will carry. And basically what that is you have to have an FHA first mortgage that you qualify for, and then you can add up to about $35,000 in renovations. But there's some limitations, not only in amount, but also in what you can do. So they won't let you do things like pools, landscaping, anything outdoors. It's got to be very internal to the property, structural.
Gotcha.
And so that's kind of the 203K. What we came out with is actually a Fannie Mae product. And so what this is a 95% loan to value, meaning that if your house is worth 100, we'll lend 95,000 on it, okay, off of the future improved value, okay,
which is phenomenal.
Which
and by
is
the way,
phenomenal, right?
Future improved value is even increasing. You know, if it takes you 2 months to get the improvements done, you might find it improves for it appraises even more than you thought before.
Well, absolutely. See, and we give you 180 days to complete. Okay. So, for example, it really comes down to this, which is the really interesting thing. So we have two classes of people. We have the person who lives in their house now. So the person who lives in their house now, if they were to make any improvements to the property, they would have to either do a current appraised value, and then they would be allowed to cash out about 80% of its value off of current market.
Gotcha.
Okay, that's really the only choice they have other than cash.
Okay.
Okay. With this loan, we could take essentially all the improvements that they want to do to the property, which can be essentially anything that they want to do to the property, pools, landscaping, barbecues, in addition to additions, anything that's attached to the property that's not a separate structure. So no, separate garages or,
casitas.
Right, none of that. But we can do everything else. And what it is then we will lend up to 95% for owner-occupied of the improved value once all of those things are done. So when you comp a property as an appraiser, you're going to look at, okay, here's Kurt's house and it's got these amenities. Well, if all those things were updated, there's a range at the top of the scale that the other guy has who's got updated flooring and new this and new that all across the way. So a lot of times, you know, it's basically a 95% cash out renovation loan if you think about it, off
Sure.
of the future value, not the current. Okay? If you were a purchasing borrower and said, hey, you know, how many times do you have right now? You have all these REOs, short sales, where maybe somebody hasn't paid a house payment for 2 years.
Right.
Well, they're not going to fix all the stuff that's
Weeds
broken.
are growing up. And,
Right,
yeah,
whatever.
which we haven't had frozen
Garage
pipes,
doors
but-
are broken, right?
Uh-huh.
I mean, pools, filter need, okay, all of these things. So what happens is, you know, we have a lot of first-time home buyers or people getting back into the marketplace to purchase. They don't have a lot of cash, okay? They just repaired their credit because maybe they were short sale 3 years ago or whatever. Well, they've only got typically the minimum down. So we're in a world of a lack of inventory. So what happens is that if somebody goes out and looks at that property and says, hey, this property's $200,000, the market's maybe 250, 270, whatever it is, but I don't really have, you know, 5% down to put in and then another 50 to 70 grand in cash to fix this house. So, you know, it's a great floor plan, it's a nice area, I like the neighborhood, but I just don't have the money, so I have to move on and go find a different property now. Well, in this world, what you can do is you could say, okay, the top comp is 270, and I've got a $200,000 property, but you know what? I could probably find $50,000 of flooring and this and that and the other thing in this house to then contract out to make the top 270 number.
Right.
Then what we'll let you do is put 5% down on the 270.
Gotcha.
So that's where it becomes a very powerful tool for both the listing agents that are out there, maybe that they're listing something that they're like, this is going to be on the market forever because I really need, like you said, I need a fix and flip guy, I need I need an investor.
Absolutely.
And so we'll do that on owner occupied to 95 to 417,000, and then we'll do it as a second home to 90%.
Which
So-
is not bad.
No, it's great.
Yeah.
And no investors. Well, you look at your options, right?
Mhm.
It's 80%, both in traditional lending or in second mortgage lines of credit. They all pretty much stop at 80%. So when you think about the types of things you could do
Right.
to a house, because most people, they don't want the change, they don't want to move.
Mhm.
So if they could improve their house to the point it was the way they like it,
Absolutely.
they would probably forego
Having to move and all the hassle.
and trying to find something that really fits their model that's not really in the same shape as the one they live in.
Correct.
So they could really build the house of their dreams if they just find the box.
I think it's phenomenal.
So-
We did in the old days when I used to do a lot of real estate, use 203K loans. So if your loan officer says, let's take a look at a 203K, then just remember you need to call Michael at 855-684-5363 because he has something better than the 203K. The 203K is a similar idea, but it's just limited.
Yeah, it's a little bit more limited. What we're seeing a lot of interest in right now is the renovation companies,
Mhm.
solar, pools, because you can add all those things as part of the renovation
good
package.
point. You
So, and a lot of times I was talking to a solar company last week, and you come in there, it's cash, or you got a 14% unsecured note.
Right, absolutely.
It starts to become you start chasing your tail on the benefit to the solar at that point because you're paying too much for the money.
Sure, that
So
does make
this
sense.
gives them a lot of options. I'm actually at extension 100 there, or
Thank you.
you can call me direct at 602-490-0205.
Wonderful, and with that, looks like we need to go to break. When we come back, we're going to talk about how Michael can create a team of trusted referral partners on TrustedTeam.com. We're going to tie that in, and we may even be able to give him some referrals to get started with some real estate agents on TrustedTeam.com. So I think this is a really good product that a lot of real estate agents would like to know about. We're going to be talking about that. So if you're kind of interested how somebody starts from scratch who's never been on TrustedTeam.com, what is TrustedTeam.com? Make sure you stay with us, and we will tune in with you when we get back after these messages.